All right. Hello again, adventurers, and welcome to another exciting episode of Daily December 2020. This is day 20 of 2020. Uh, yeah, there's a lot of 20s. So, today, I did a thing. I wants to brag about it. And more likely than not, I will never get a chance to actually play this character. But I built a character that I think is really, really cool in D&D Beyond. That I would love to play in a game sometime. But due to the fact that I am the eternal DM, I sincerely doubt I will ever get to. But I wanted to show off the character because it's really, really cool. So, yeah, let's show off my super cool character I made in D&D Beyond. Sure. This is my character, Julius Eagleton. Hi. How are you? I'm impressive. Julius is Julius is badass. Um, Julius is a gambler for his background, and that's really what got him into adventuring. Is kind of living in that life of uh, constantly kind of betting your life and you know every time you up the stakes it gets more exciting. So instead of just winning at cards and possibly getting attacked for completely legitimate means of improving the odds, he decided to become an adventurer. But the unique thing about Julius is exactly how he adventures. So, Julius is a fighter. He's a variant human fighter. I chose variant human because it gave me an extra feat to work with, and I like that. This is going to be a very weird, interesting character, so I wanted to have fun with it. When I built the character initially, I got to show you guys this because I don't believe it, and I did it. So I'm gonna go. This is the actual build page, and I'm gonna go to the abilities. The reason I am here, if you know me, if you've ever sat at one of my tables or watched me play, I notoriously roll poorly. I'm not quite a Will Wheaton, but I'm pretty damn close. And so whenever I build characters, I almost always just use the standard array. It gives me something I'm good at, it gives me a few things that I'm okay at, and it gives me one stat that I'm bad at. And I like that. I like a character that's got flaws and strengths. But I'm like, you know what? They just added the ability to roll your ability scores in this game. So I went, what the hell? Let me do this. These are the rolls I got, guys. These are the rolls I got. I got 16, 16, 13, 15, 14, 15. Those are the highest rolls I've ever rolled in my life. Like, seriously, I've never rolled that good ever. I have tried rolling ability scores. I end up with like a 6, a 9, a 2, which is impossible because you have to add the 3 dice together. But I was able to do it. But yeah, no, so that was insane. I guess I did this wrong because I think I'm supposed to do it this way. So if I change things like this. So I go to the dex, con, we'll go into the intelligence, wisdom, So it's a strength, and then charisma. We'll apply the ability scores there. So now it's the way it's supposed to be. It already was that. So that's the first thing I thought was crazy. Definitely roll your ability scores in D&D Beyond, because apparently it just gives you 6s and 5s for most of your rolls. So I had to show off that, and that's why I have unbelievable ability scores. This particular variant fighter is a level 5, because I don't like playing low level characters in 5th edition. It's just not fun to me. I like to start right around level 5. I think tier 2 is where D&D starts getting really, really fun. The tier 1 stuff just feels... it's really easy to die, especially first and second level. It's super easy to die, and a bad roll can end a campaign really easily, and balance is a pain in the ass then to once you get to tier 2, you get a lot more freedom. So I generally, if I'm theory crafting a character, I'll put it to level 5 or 6, just because that's the easiest. So the interesting thing about this character, if we go to my equipment, I just chose the starting equipment for the fighter. This is a fighter, by the way, Battlemaster fighter. We'll get into that in a second. So I just chose the starting equipment for this class, but I have 52 darts. Now that's strange. Why would I have exactly 52 darts? Well, because Julius is a gambler. The weapon he uses in combat are cards. Seriously, this is my favorite thing about this. I decided to use darts simply because they exist already in the D&D. So if I wanted to use this character in an Adventurers League game, I could, and I could just tell whoever the GM is, hey, by the way, I use darts to attack, but I flavor them as their weighted playing cards. But they still do piercing damage. They do the same damage and everything. They're cards instead of darts. And if they decide, no, I'm not going to let you do that, then I can go, fine. Then I will just throw darts. It's great. But mechanically, it doesn't change anything to call them cards. So that's why I chose darts over something like daggers or the things like that, despite the fact that daggers would give me a few more options as far as how I could attack and the things like that. The other thing, 52 daggers... or 52 darts cost me 2 gold and 6 silver. 52 daggers would cost me 104 gold. And I don't need 52, but it feels, I use playing cards, so I want 52 of them. It's not that big a deal. And if I can't get them back, it's a lot easier to just buy darts than it is to buy the daggers. So, yeah, that's what I'm using. I've got leather armor because that came with the class. I've got a bunch of other things like scimitars and stuff like that. It was just stuff that came with the class. I don't plan on using any of them to the point where I probably don't even need to have them equipped, to be honest, because I'll only ever use the darts. So, yeah, this is a card-throwing Battlemaster fighter, and I love it. If you were wondering which fighting style I chose, for some odd reason, I chose the thrown weapon fighting style. Weird, right? Because the gambler, the human variant and the gambler both give me a fair number of proficiencies. I've got so many proficiencies. I'm proficient in acrobatics from the fighter itself. Proficient in deception from the gambler. Proficient in insight from the gambler. Proficient in perception from the fighter. and then proficient in sleight of hand from the human variant, which all of those make for a pretty damn good gambler. Obviously, I've got second wind and action surge, basic fighter stuff. Combat superiority, that's a battle master thing. I get these maneuver, I get superiority, I get superiority dice, and I get maneuvers. In addition to that, I get proficiency with a type of artisans to the tools. I chose cartographers as supplies, simply because, again, I'm kind of playing this character because in my inventory, in addition to my deck of 52 weighted playing cards, I also have a playing cards as a set, because a gambler, you specialize in a gambling set. I chose playing cards because that's what I did to do. So for me, the calligrapher's supplies and just understanding how writing and paper and stuff works, for me, is how I make my weighted cards for the throwing. So I use calligrapher's supplies. So yeah, if they had if they had reed makers supplies, if you don't know, I'm a woodwind player. I played saxophone and clarinet, multiple versions of both. I played bass and B flat clarinet. I've played alto, tenor, and baritone saxophone. And then I sing. But being a woodwind player, a fair amount of woodwind players will learn at least the process of making their own reeds. Unless you get pretty far, like closer to the professional level. I don't know too many people that cut their own reeds at my level, which I'm just kind of a hobbyist for it. But I'm familiar with how to make reeds, and I've even thought about trying to make my own reeds just for fun. But reed making involves shaving and all this other stuff, and so yeah, reed maker supplies would work perfectly for me, turning cards into weapons. But cartographer supplies works, or calligraphers, not cartographers, calligraphers supplies. Cartographers is for maps. So that's why I chose calligraphers supplies. For my maneuvers, Battlemaster gets 3 maneuvers on the offset, and they earn more maneuver, or they learn more maneuvers as they get higher. The maneuvers I chose were quick toss, because I throw cards. Because darts are a ranged weapon, not a melee weapon with a thrown property, or the ranged weapon with a thrown property, you can't actually dual wield. You can't dual wield the darts. So I cannot take a bonus action to throw an additional card. So I have quick toss, so that sometimes I can do that if I want to. With how I built the character, I'm not losing that much damage from not having that final attack. And I'm certain if I actually were to play this in a game, I'm certain I could talk with the DM to cook up a feat or something that would let me dual wield thrown weapons or something like that. Because I think the dart is the only ranged thrown weapon. All other thrown weapons are melee weapons, which would mean a combination of dual weapon fighting and the thrown weapon fighting style would mean I could dual wield and just get an extra attack every turn. So, but going completely rules as written, I cannot dual wield the darts. So I just do. I have quick toss here so that I can to toss the weapon real quick and do a little extra damage. Also gives me a bonus action that I can use. So I like that. The other one is disarming attack, where I can throw one of my cards at somebody's hand and make them drop a weapon or something that they're holding. Which is super cool. And then the other one is precision attack, which just lets me add a superiority die to an attack roll, which will make sense when you guys see the feats that I have taken for this. Yeah. We'll talk about the feats in just a second here, and then I got extra attacks, so I can do extra attacks. So, feats. The feat I take at the beginning as my part of my variant human is the Sharpshooter feat, which means instead of having a range of 20 feet and then an extended range of 60 feet where I would be throwing at disadvantage, Sharpshooter means I can throw up to the maximum range, which is 60 feet, without disadvantage, and targets can't benefit from half or three-quarters cover, which we've talked about in my D&D deep dive show, where half cover increases AC by 2, three-quarter cover increases it by 5. So that is really useful that they can't do that. In addition, the most broken part of Sharpshooter, or almost broken, it's the reason you to take Sharpshooter, is you can take a -5 penalty to the attack roll to add plus 10 damage to the attack if it hits. So if you combine Sharpshooter with precision attack, that means I'm generally not going to be missing my Sharpshooters. My superiority die at level 5 is a D8. So there's a really good chance I'm going to make my attacks. The other thing that's nice about precision attack is you can choose to use it after you make the roll. Oh no, that one doesn't let you add it to the damage. Both disarming attack and quick toss let me add my my superiority die to the damage roll, which is really nice. So yeah, I've got Sharpshooter, so I can just really annoy the DMs in general. And then I have Piercer, which is a new feat from Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. Which improves my dex score, because I already had I had a 17 in dex before this because of how I rolled the things. So I decided instead of staying odd or improving two different things, I would just take a feat that gave me a +1 in dexterity to get it up to the next improvement. And Piercer is really interesting. Piercer, once per turn, I can re-roll the damage from any attack I do that is piercing. Since I'm using D4s, it's not going to be a huge deal. However, on a critical hit, I can roll an additional damage die when I'm using a piercing weapon. So when I crit with my darts, normally it's a D4. It says +4 here. Because of my thrown weapon fighting, it actually turns into a D4 +6. If I hit with it, it turns into 3D4 +6. And if we add on a sharpshooter shot, it turns it to 3D4 +16. And theoretically, I can constantly be using sharpshooter shots if I don't mind taking the -5 to the attack roll. And once you get to higher levels, and since I have that precision shot, I can be doing a lot of sharpshooter shots. So yeah, and then yeah, so that's my cool character. Like I said, I really would love to play this character somewhere. I sincerely doubt I'm going to get a chance to, but it's super cool. It's super fun. These are the kind of characters I like to build. Ones that are weird and unique, that let me play very, very differently. Those are my absolute favorite things to do. So yeah, that is going to be all for this one. If you guys would like to see more of my like Theorycraft builds, or if you'd like to see some of the actual characters I've built, I think I've shown off Aether in here. But if you want to see some of the other characters that I've played in the Adventures League, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, again, that's all for me today. I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right? Bye-bye.